Okay, you don't know this, but my computer just died, so I have to refilm this whole thing. Um, so what was I saying? Okay, this is day 3, and I feel like I have come so far. I know that sounds funny, but I started by being like, let me move my leg here. Uh, I started by like being like kind of like confused on how you would even like start to learn all the notes here, right? And how would I jump between things? But what I did is I like kind of systematically broke it down, and I was like, okay, I'm so happy I learned the C major scale the way I did. So I feel like some people say learn the pentatonic. I don't know, man. I feel like why not just learn the C major? Like the pentatonic, you just drop the B and the F, right? And I feel like that the B and the F are so useful in identifying where you are. Like I don't know all the notes in the scale, but I found that like B and F like have such a weird pattern because they don't have a sharp, like there's no, you don't have like a um you don't have like a B sharp, right? Or like an F sharp, right? Well, you have an F sharp, right? You don't have an E sharp, right? But it's like the F and the B are the tritone, right? Um, I'm still learning all this, and my music theory could use work. But um, regardless, because the E doesn't have a sharp and B doesn't have a sharp, it has a weird pattern when you're like stepping through the scales, and so that kind of helps me to know like what notes are around there because I'm like, oh, we're doing like a weird like one, we're not skipping a note, right? And so that tells me, oh, it's probably a B and E and F, like so I think like I really like learning the major scale. I feel like some people might find it boring. I didn't. I had a lot of fun with it. Um, and yeah, so essentially what I did is I learned like everything in the key of C major in like this section here, right? So I went like I'm finally starting to get over my camera shyness. When I first recorded this, man, I messed that up, and I didn't mess it up all day when I played it today. I also didn't feel too good today. I didn't get a lot of sleep. So I'm kind of sicky today, but it's okay. We can still play guitar. And I love it, man. This is like so much fun. I don't know why I put this off. Why I didn't like. Why it took me so long to come back to the guitar. Like I don't know. I guess I just didn't understand it, right? And I really had to get back into. I had to really want to make music, to learn all this, and I want to make music now. And I don't care if I like can ever make money off of this or if like I don't want to make money off of this honestly, because once money's involved, like I'm now doing it for the money and not for like liking it, right? I kind of just want to like find my people, like I kind of just want to like make stuff, and then the people who like those things, those are my people, and I want to find them. um that's the whole reason I'm doing it. And even if it's like one or two people, like that's enough, right? And so that's why I'm doing it and why I care about doing it. So and I feel like I think I was so focused on like figuring out how I'm gonna eat and pay my rent that I never let myself do stuff that seemed like it was work, but was work that was non-productive. Like I would play video games, right? But like I don't see myself ever playing video games as like Maybe I'll stream on here. I don't know, but I don't ever see myself playing games as a way to make money. But I felt like music was one of those things where like I never saw it as anything other than like it felt like a business, you know. And I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna do a business thing and I'm gonna get skills that help me make a business, I might as well like do it in something that's actually gonna make me a little money. But I've kind of changed my mind about this. Like, I don't think of music as like a business thingy anymore. I think of it as like a way of telling stories, and maybe that's what it always was. But I don't. You listen to. I feel like you listen to some music today, and not too many people are telling too many original stories in my eyes, right? Um, People are saying the same shit over and over again. I broke up with my boyfriend, da, 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 da. And so I kind of just want to tell stories, but I'm rambling. Um, I had a lot of fun, and then and I think the thing that made it easier is that I started with a little theory first, and then I learned the scale here, right? So like at this point here, I learned everything for the C major scale, for C major key, not the scale, the key of C major. So I learned it all here, and I was like, okay, well, yeah, I messed up a little bit there, but I can play it. I just need to practice it more. Also, a cool thing that happened is my ears are starting to develop, and I'm starting to be able to even. I don't even have to like count or think about the note. I can hear it. I can hear when I'm off, and I missed a note, and I just know don't do that again. Um, so that's kind of cool. I didn't have that before. And I hope that as I go through more keys, I'll be able to do that with more and more keys, right? And then the next thing I learned it on is right like I hear like right before the octave repeats itself like right like this double one here. So I learned it there too. So then I was like yeah. So I learned it there, and I had to like practice it. Like you're technically supposed to get this one for free, right? But I didn't really think of it as for free because when I am like when you're playing it up here, right? It really feels different because you're playing all those strings open. So I really had to practice it over here too, right? And then yeah, I was like after I did that, I like started to like just know where all of the notes I could play in the C major scale were, and I just could like freestyle and like solo a little bit. Like I don't know, let me try a little bit. I'll do like something like I'll just like navigate between the keys and do like I don't know. That was a pretty bad like one, but I'll just like play around with that, and I would just be able to like kind of feel comfortable, like just like navigating through the guitar more and just playing stuff. Um, and then I even like from there I would like hear something, and I would like all I would do is I would just I know what notes are kind of okay, and sometimes I would mess up, but even sometimes if I messed up, knowing that that's a bad spot, I can play with that to build tension. And so it wasn't even a bad spot, but knowing, like, like for instance, I know that you're not supposed to play this F sharp here. Like, you're not supposed to play that for the C major for being the key of C. But like I was like finding that like I could even play that and work with it. And if I messed up, I can just keep going, kind of like freestyling almost, like improvisational. And I really liked it. And I made songs, so like maybe not songs, but like ideas for songs. And so like one of them that I liked was this one. Like I like that one. I thought that sounded pretty cool. And then I made like another one that was just like kind of like a riff, but like playing with like going down the A main, um, the A whatchamacallit. Like it was like in the key of A, but I started at like E, and I was like it's something like no, it wasn't that. Let me try again. I messed it up. I'm I messed it up a couple times, but it was something like that. I just really liked. It sounded like Promised Neverland. I don't know if anyone's seen that anime. I don't know. But it kind of reminded me of that song that the boy created. Um, and he was in his it was go watch Promised Neverland. It's watch the first season. Don't watch the second one though. And so yeah, I kind of made that, and it felt like I could really like the only reason I could do that is because I learned the C major scale, um, and I was able to like I was just moving across it and like just playing around really like now I feel like I can play around like before. I didn't really feel like I could play around the guitar, but now like 3 days in, I can play around in the key of C. Um, and I'll find ideas, and it will like I feel like I can turn that into a song, and then I can put some drums behind it, and like boom, bada bing, we have a song, baby. Like that's kind of the goal. And so I feel like I'm gonna get to being able to like write and express myself on this a lot sooner than I thought. I feel like I just have to do this for all the keys, right? So maybe it'll take me. I don't know. Maybe it'll take me a year. I don't know. Maybe I'll get there sooner. Um, Yeah, but that's kind of the progress for today. I did have a sick day today, so I got to play a lot, and so maybe I won't be able to make this much progress all the time. Um, but yeah, like I just have to now I have to just practice my scales, and I really want to be able to like know the scale like the back of my hand, and be able to just like go up and down, maybe make a few songs with this scale. Really feel comfortable with it. Add it into like a practice routine where I do a couple of them. I do like the C major scale at the beginning every time, and then I'll start learning the next one, which I think will be G, because it just adds that little F sharp here, and I'll do the same thing. I'll learn it all around here, all around the guitar, and then I might try practicing like switching between keys, right? Because C and G are really close to one another on the circle of fifths, and then I'll just work my way around the circle of fifths, and then I think what's the one that comes after G? I forget. I forget what. Maybe there's a way. It's a circle of fifths. You just go up a fifth, and then that gives you the next circle of fifth. Is that how that works? That would make sense. I don't know. I don't know if that's how that works, but yeah, like that's what I have to do, and I also want to practice like transitioning between my chords uh faster. So like right now I can like play some chords, but like I can't transfer between them very quickly, and I'm also not great at like playing them in different voicings, like up and neck as bar chords, because my bar chords still need some work. Um, but I did learn the cage system too. That was really helpful. Highly recommend it. But I don't think it's the end all be all. I think like you learn it, and but like I don't think it was useful. I think it was useful in knowing that like that chord, like these chord shapes. If I want to play the A chord like further up the neck, I know how to do it now, and because I can shift the A chord like to the next note, I can play like other chords like the B chord, or like maybe like for the E, I would play I can get the F chord really easily, right? Um, and then the shape still works. I don't know if the shape works if it's minor, right? So like I don't know how it works if to get to minor ones, right? So I have to figure that out. Like if I shift, let's say I use the A shape. I start the A shape and then I go to the G shape, right? That gives me my new A chord, right? In like whatever position that is. It gives me that G shaped A chord. But I don't know how to construct the minor chord at that G shaped position. You know what I mean? I can construct the minor A in first position from the A chord, but I don't know how I would construct it from in the G chord shape. You know what I mean? And I think that's a matter of remembering which one is the root, the third, and the seventh, right? Because then you can just shift the third down, right? And then I'll be able to get the minor. But I'm wondering whether, yeah, I don't know how to translate the minor chords in in the cage system. That's something I have to figure out too. Um, yeah, that's like a gap in my knowledge that I want to figure out, and I also have to figure out a good. I figured out a good system for quickly writing down like song ideas. Like if I come across a melody in a solo, um just writing that down. I found a method for doing that. And then I could put the notes in my DAW and record it. Um, yeah, but that's kind of what I want to do next. I want to work on getting more comfortable in the key of C, and then I want to figure out how I can translate my major chords in the cage system to minor chords in their respective positions. You know what I mean? Um, some of them might be easy, but some of them I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know. Like, is there like a C shape for the minor chords? I don't know. I don't know. Right? Like, I think I have to do some googling. Um, if one of I only have like one or two watchers, but if anyone ends up seeing this and has a recommendation or a video that shows how to do that, like do like move like the minor chords that are in first position up here using the Cade system, that would be really helpful. Because I would want to know how to do that. And that's it. That's it for today. That's guitar day 3. I learned a lot. I don't think every day is gonna be this good, but hopefully I can keep making this much progress. Catch you guys later.